it's not finished. It's just a coating. And I think when I look closely, I say, I got it too dark. I'm just going to lighten it a bit, push some color off of it. And so that there's texture under there. It's interesting. When I pulled the paper off, when I pulled the paint off, it was neat. I got a bit of texture, and there's all this texture on the bird's face. This feathery texture. But this just gives us an idea how dark we're going to have to go for our dark side of this bird. We're just using 3 colors here, and we're getting all the colors we need. I could even just put first a greeny yellow coat on the top of the head, and then maybe an orangey yellow on the bird, like the back of the bird there. Different yellow to start with, and then as we build up, we're going to have layer upon layer of these gorgeous depth. It gives you a depth. So you're going to identify your yellows. You've got orangey yellows on the body and greeny yellows up on the head. I was going to get us to try the yellow ochre, but right now why don't we stay with this yellow since it's on our brush and try to get the background color of the blue, neutralized blue. There's all these different colors in the background. That's our fence way off in the distance. Like it's probably 15 feet away from where the bird is. I just put my brush in the greens, the dark green. I had this green blob here, and then I just put more blue in it. So it's all 3 colors together, but it'll be slightly more blue than any other color. So that's how you'll get that purpley gray blue color we might want. I find this in my, there's some of the fence looks like that. Some of the fence looks a bit bluier, so I'm just gonna roll my brush in some more blue. So it's all 3 colors mixed together. And if I want it bluier, just add blue. If I want it darker, I have to add more paint. If I want it lighter, I have to add more water. And then there's some other areas that are sort of like yellowy. So I'm just going to take my dirty brush now and put it in the yellow and this, and a bit of red, because I don't want it to be too, I want it to be an orangey yellow. Stir my brush up completely so it's really in there. And I didn't clean my brush. If you've noticed, I've never cleaned my brush, except for when I said I was cleaning my brush way back when. Otherwise, I know that I want neutrals. I don't need to clean my brush. Oh, these are gorgeous. Just put some different tones beside it. Just know that you, because I see these greeny, these more neutralized tones there. And if I want them to get even yellowier, I just scoop some water up. I'm putting more yellow and a little more red on my brush. And I'm really going to make them yellow without cleaning my brush. There, very yellowy. And all these colors just came from this little mixing palette right here. I'm going to make my orange even redder, even orangier. Just put my dirty brush right beside my red paint. Stir it up real good. Ooh la la! I'm going to take some red and some yellow going to just see what that orange looks like. A nice yellowy orange. Add more yellow. For the beak, it's quite orangey, quite yellowy orange. And for the leg, it's a little bit redder. I'm going to add a tiny bit more red to it. Maybe a bit more. And that's a bit too red. But maybe not. Yeah, it's a bit too red. Add a bit more yellow. Add a bit more yellow till it's right. Yeah, it's like feels a bit darker. And as you can see, the claws go down, they get more purpley, don't they? Look at how neutralized they look. They look very purpley. So, or bluey. It's the feet, right? So it's orange. So we would call that bluey. So I'm just going to take some blue. I don't care that it's dirty blue. It's dirty blue. I've got red and blue and a bit of yellow in this dirty mix here of my blues here. I don't care. I'm going to neutralize it. I'm just going to neutralize this orange. I'm just going to take some from it and see what happens. This became neutralized. Take a look at it. Ooh, it's nice. But I want it to be, it's pretty good. I want it to be bluier, so I'm just going to take some more blue. I'm going to just try this color. I know it's not right. It's a darker color. It's all I really care is that it's darker at this point, right? What's missing in this mix? I just take my dirty brush and add a bit more red to it. Tiny bit. I'm adding a bit of red to this. There. Now it's a little more neutralized reddish purple. See that? Gorgeous. Reddish purple. And I think that is the color that I will be putting, that I would like to put on my bird talon. It won't really matter as long as it's any of these darker neutralized colors. And as we build it up, you can see lights and darks. So I want to make it a little lighter. I just take some water and take some, I can make it lighter. Pull the color out if I want to. Make it lighter in any parts. So I can shape those, each claw as I do them. And I could do another, get the claws drawn in and then like you'll just take some water later and do little round cylinders, because that's what they are. And when you draw these claws around, think straight lines, but think straight lines when you draw this, when you're painting this bird. Now when you trace it from the drawing, just do it very lightly, and you're going to sculpt it with the paint. But really think straight lines when you want to do round things. When you're drawing them, think straight lines. You see these pretty little pink flower here that's beside the bird? It's a really light neutralized pink. It's a soft kind of orangey pink. That's little flower there. Isn't that pretty? It's hit by the light, and then underneath the light it goes into this lovely orangey kind of pink, but it's neutralized, so it's like a purpley neutralized color inside there. I keep seeing blues, so if I'm thinking it's an orange flower, like a very soft orangey pink, then the colors I will think are purple. I mean blue, sorry, because orange and blue are complementary colors. So I've got my orange here. I can pull it out, add lots of water. It's a little too yellowy. I want it to be a little redder. So I'm going to just take a little bit more red. There. There. It's got to be a bit redder. If I keep adding water, it'll get so light. but I want it to be kind of a light orangey red. And that might even be too, I don't know. Let's try, just try it. Oh, it's so pretty. Doesn't have to be exactly what you see there, but yeah, I like this. Oh, it's so light you can hardly see it. But I'm going to put it up here, close to the camera. It's a very light orange with no blue in it. Because I cleaned my brush off, so I know there's no, unless sometimes when you clean your brush there is a bit of still some color in it, but it's still fine. It's a bit of a neutralized pink, but it's just so soft. It's an orangey pink. So for the shadow color of that, actually I've got the shadow color perfectly right beside it. That, what's happening there beside this flower here, is a pretty good neutral light start to that, what's really there. So we can't fool ourselves about what color we're actually seeing. And the way I can tell is to fold my paper and maybe put it right beside it. Not that I care that we're getting it exactly right, I really don't. But if I go like that, I go, am I, fooling myself, or well, it's got to be, it's about that color. It's hard to tell on the camera, but I feel like it's in the right direction, but it's got to be a lot bluier and a lot darker. A lot bluier and a lot darker than that. So I'm not going to clean my brush. I'm just going to scoop more water up here. I'm going to add a bit more blue. Dirty blue. Just take it from my dirty blue pile. I'm just maybe a bit more blue. Put my brush in it, swirl it around. The reason this is, the way this is now going to look like a bright spot, because now I got to paint the background behind it. So now you won't see that until I make it dark around it. If I want to make it dark, I've got to make that color, and I've got to paint it very carefully behind it. Before it's dry or after it's dry, one or the other.